to Maperformance.
Today's the big day. Today is the day that we are going to get the WRX back up and running. Now, if you guys haven't checked out the rest of the series, make sure you guys go watch the previous episodes on what we're actually doing with this car. We got the brand new IAG engine in, we have our new turbo setup in, and today we're going to be buttoning everything up to get this thing to run and break in before the dyno. Now, quickly, let me explain. We don't have everything that we need to completely finish this car. We still are missing injectors and a high pressure fuel pump. But while we're waiting on those, like I said, we want to break the engine in. So what that means is we're going to put our TGVs back in, put the intake manifold back in, put our charge piping back in along with the top mount intercooler, and then we can put the fluids in, start this thing up, and actually get this thing broken in so that when our fuel does come in,
we can make some jam.
We can make some freaking jam, and I am pumped. Now, everything else is done pretty much, so all we got to do is just put things back on, button everything up, put the fluids in, and let's give her a send. Now, you guys probably will remember that we actually have TGV deletes and the old BRZ intake manifold back here. But since we are completely changing our setup and doing a quote-unquote carb legal build with this, now all of that has to get changed. So we're putting our TGVs back in. We're using a stock WRX intake manifold here and running MAP's top mount intercooler. So we want to show you guys that you can still make power on an emissions compliant setup. Now, I am going to miss our old setup. This was super sick, but like I keep saying in every episode, I'm excited to try something new and just get this thing completely refreshed. So Kyle, are you ready to boogie?
I'm ready if you are. We got some coffee in us. It's a Sunday, doing the Lord's work, all right?
Like that?
Like that.
We are looking good. Now, we have the OEM intake manifold in. What I'm really excited for is the MAP charge piping. This actually looks super sick, especially next to our HKS blow-off valve here. So our next plan of attack is gonna be intercooler. So we have the MAP top mount intercooler, which is going to fill this voided space. Now, you guys probably remember and are asking why we're doing the top mount intercooler. Well, it's an MAP product and we wanted to use all Maperformance products on this build. And what we're going to do is try and find an oil cooler, maybe not at this exact time, but find an oil cooler to kind of fill the void that's going to be up front here. But we're going to go ahead and start on the intercooler. We just got to go and pull it.
That's right.
BTS of Maperformance. If you guys are ordering your parts from MAP, look at all of this storage. Car part heaven back here. Good idea. Intercooler secured.
Connect some hoses, just toss the radiator in, fill her up with some fluies.
I am so freaking pumped.
Can we get a pump for it? Can we get a pump? Let's get a pump. There we go.
Heck yeah, brother. Man, ooh, that door shut is nice. I'm a truck guy now. Can you tell? This is Alex. Alex does the engine work here, right?
Yes.
Look at this truck.
It's a big truck.
He's a good guy. Maybe we should do like a classic truck build. Well, is this considered classic?
I think this is a classic. What year is this? 94? 90s truck build? Should do a mini truck.
This is our first look here at the MAP top mount. Does this have everything we need?
It's all you need.
All you need.
It's a direct bolt and direct swap.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty. Oh yeah, duh. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, not every intercooler is like that. Yeah. This one you can legitimately take your stock one off and
just throw this guy on.
Throw it right on. No mods, no nothing. It goes right on.
Look at this. Look at this beefy boy. Nice coated black. This thing is beautiful, dude. Look nice and stealth in the engine bay.
While Dustin is doing movie magic over here, I've been working on our radium fuel system and all these fuel lines. Now, this kit, you know, it covers a wide range of vehicles, so there's a little bit of customization, I guess you can do to it to kind of make it fit how your liking is. So we've got the exhaust, or the fuel lines kind of running through here, trying to keep these away from the exhaust as much as possible. I may end up, sorry, the light's kind of in a weird spot. I may end up building kind of like a heat shield bracket that keeps this nice and shielded from any heat. But then we've got our beautiful fuel filter. If you can see that. Beautiful fuel filter up there. I know it's a little tough to see. And there we go. It won't focus for me. Yeah, there we go. So, radium fuel filter, getting some of the lines routed underneath. Comes with these really nice brackets that hold everything together, and they've got some zip tie holes to kind of tie everything up, make it nice and secure. But we are about wrapping this portion of it up. There's some wiring I need to do, and then grab a fuel pressure regulator. But otherwise, Dustin's getting set up with a pretty beefy fuel system. So whatever we end up making this week, he's definitely got all the things to make even more with a couple little extra mods in the fuel department as far as injectors go. But we will see how far DI only takes us on E85. So I'm gonna get back to work. Just wanted to fill you guys in, give you a little update.
I like other people's cameras more than mine.
It's the same exact camera.
It's not. You have a nicer camera. Big.
Build a plug. Oh no, why is there... Are you joinking my chain right now?
Look at this beefy intercooler. This is going to be really, really nice. Okay, the only thing I am worried about is since we did have the front mount intercooler and the BRZ intake manifold, we don't currently have the brackets. So we're going to see how well this holds without the brackets. And if not, we're going to have to make something. Day number 2 of today's video, because we finished everything, but the fueling took a little bit longer than we expected, and Kyle definitely wanted to do it right, so we took our time, and we're back for day 2 to actually start the car and break it in. But before we do that, I kind of want to run through everything because I feel like we didn't even really update them.
No, I told you to and you didn't.
Yeah, we didn't really update you guys yesterday. So I don't even know where we left off, so I'm just gonna start with everything. Yesterday we were able to get the MAP top mount intercooler on. Once again, we swapped to a top mount because we wanted to use all MAP products for this build, and they only make a top mount, so we're gonna test it out. So we have their new top mount kit along with their charge piping, which is actually really sick. I like this setup. It's clean, simple, and still gives it some like spice in the engine.
Yeah,
bay,
it's a little pop.
Everything is now connected. Our turbo is clocked correctly, and then while I was working on the front mount, Kyle was working on the fuel. Kyle, let's give them a quick rundown of the fuel setup. Now, let's preface this. Originally, we had set this up to do port injection, which we kind of diverted and are no longer doing that. So keep that in mind when Kyle is explaining this.
Yep, so like we talked about in the other videos, we did the radium in-tank fuel system upgrade. I wouldn't call it a pump, I'd call it just like a drop-in basket, I guess is the best way to call it.
It's a massive upgrade over stock.
Yeah, let me get some lights. Yeah. Don't move my wires around too much. We're not 100% done. So yeah, we finished up this radium fuel sending unit, and then that also added a return line to it. Obviously the factory crossover pipe is still there, and then our feed line. Then I went ahead and, while Dustin and Clinton were eating Applebee's, wired this up, even though I told them I was going home. So wired everything up so that all works. Already primed it and made sure everything was good there.
And so we also ran new fuel lines.
Yep, so there's dash 8 fuel feed, and I believe dash 6 return. So plenty of fuel system for whatever. It's pretty overbuilt up to the front of the engine.
Yeah, but it gives us more room to expand. Yeah, exactly. So why this is all really nice is because, as you guys know, the car sat for such a long time. And yes, I really enjoyed the front mount and the BRZ manifold and all that, but it's nice to just have a full refresh on literally everything. It's gonna be super cool. So continuing on with the fuel.
Yep, so then we brought that all the way up front, and then we used this Fuel Lab fuel pressure regulator. So we've got our dash 8 in, and then out into our high pressure pump. Now if we would have done port injection, this would have wide somewhere over here. Actually probably would have wide before the regulator, and then it would have gone through the port injection stuff and then back into the regulator. But because we're doing a deadhead style with only the DI, we have fuel in, fuel out, return out the bottom. So with this, a nice thing about this, doing this setup, is we were able to move your flex fuel sensor to the return side of the fuel system, which is when you have the opportunity to do that, that's the right way to do it, is have your, the least amount of restrictions, the least amount of things for the fuel to go to before it reaches the rail. So we're able to put that on the return side to kind of free up just some of that extra fuel capacity going through everything. Also down there, you can't really see it, but there is a really nice radium stainless steel filter. Because when you do this install, you still have the fuel sock that filters out things that are in the tank, but this way, if there were to be anything in the lines or anything that made its way through that filter, and the sock filter, that one will catch it. So we have 2 layers of defense here, because obviously the factory one has a filter built in directly after the pump, whereas this does not. So now we have a fuel filter inline, goes through our nice regulator with this nice little bracket we made, and kind of just rounds everything out.
Kyle, the real question is she ready to send?
Just need some oil, and then we're ready to send, at least over here.
I'm so pumped. Okay, I mean, everything is buttoned up, everything is done. Like Kyle said, all we have to do is fill this thing with oil. We're gonna put some break-in oil in it, flush that out, and then put some VR1 into this engine. I think she's ready to start. Now, there is a specific break-in procedure with the engine and the head since they are built, so we're gonna run through that. And then tomorrow will hopefully be our full dyno day. It's the final count.
Stop. It's time to at least crank it over.
What's the plan of attack?
So I'm gonna disconnect the fuel pump, and you're gonna crank it over a couple times, get some oil, make sure everything's hunky-dory there. Then we can put the fuel pump back connected, try and give her a first start. It is still on the tune that the car came here with.
Which is very old.
Yeah, it should be sufficient enough to, like we said, we still have the stock injector, stock high pressure fuel pump. The only thing that's changed is obviously a different engine, and cam, so it might not run great, but not to a point where it's going to damage anything. At least you just start it up and make sure everything's
we'll prime everything, get everything good to go, and I mean, guys, this is going to be nuts. Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Turn the key on. Just key it forward.
I don't hear anything.
I don't either. I just hear the air tank.
Okay.
All right.
Should I give her a prime?
Yeah, give her a couple cranks.
All right, here we go. We're gonna crank her.
Do more than that, buddy.
Ooh. She's priming.
She wants to start even
which is good.
Without the fuel pump.
Which is good. Do you want me to do some more?
That should be fine. Let's put some coolant in it just to be safe.
Woo! It's getting real.
Oh man. So prime the fuel system a couple times. Just key it on, key it off.
Ooh. All right. Fuel system's priming.
Do that again.
Nice. Again? Yep. That's good. We can hear the fuel system turning on. Oh man. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, she's close.
We give her a little gas.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, third time's the charm. Whoa! She's close. There she is! Let's go! Brand new IAG built, upgraded turbo, upgraded heads. She's on, baby. Throttle bearing. What do we got?
A lot of fuel correction. She wants a whole lot of extra fuel at idle.
What's the break-in procedure here?
So IAG and Kelford both recommend 15 minutes at about 2,500 RPM, just to make sure everything seats nicely and everything is happy and kosher. So
Nice.
if you open up the door, it will be real annoying to everybody else in the shop because it is now Monday morning and everybody's here. So we would have loved to do this last night and piss off the neighbors instead of the employees,
Yeah.
but unfortunately it didn't work
It is
out.
what it is. Hey, we're
But,
stoked.
hey,
It freaking runs.
This thing, I mean, you could put a glass of water on here, wouldn't see a ripple. So she's feeling good.
It's running good.
It doesn't have no hiccups, no nothing.
We're gonna get this thing on the dyno. We're gonna let it idle. He's gonna hold it at 2,500 RPMs for a little bit and just get all the juices flowing, everything working. Oh my God, I'm so stoked. And she sounds super healthy. Get a fresh whiff of that. Come here.
That little stink.
Yeah,
let me built
waft
engine
it.
stink.
Let me waft it. The fresh engine stink. You like that?
This is your first built motor,
First built engine.
and it started with very little drama.
Yes! I'm so pumped, dude. And that's just the beginning. We got more to go.
Don't say that.
We gotta rip all this back off.
Don't say that.
We do. Because we gotta put the other fuel in. But this had to happen today so that we can actually just get this, like we said, broken in. So we're gonna cool down for a bit. We're gonna dump the break-in oil and actually put some VR1 into it, and then maybe take this thing on a little stroll.
Yeah, I gotta put some of the under tray stuff back on from the fuel system. I'd like to quickly too just do some provisions for some heat management from the exhaust and the fuel lines. This kit is more so geared towards like an STI, which has the exhaust on the other side. So it's not obviously not touching, we wouldn't do that, but it's like just a hair close for comfort, so just want to do some heat management stuff to keep everything safe.
Nice.
So
we're almost there, guys. Freaking shop.
It's kind of an operation to get it out of here. That lift is for long-term storage only.
Oh my gosh, dude. We freaking did it. Kyle, dude, I am so freaking pumped. Before we can get this thing onto the dyno, as you guys know, dude, my air system is doing some funky things. I don't know what's going on there. But what the I don't know what's going on.
Well, we're on like an incline. That might be what
yeah.
Might be freaking out.
Let's back it up. God, the clutch. You're too low.
It's really good.
Shout out to ACT. Okay, so as you guys know, we need to break this engine in. So before we get this thing on the dyno, we're gonna be driving this thing around town for a little bit and getting it ready for actual full pulls. Now we're not gonna do anything crazy today. As we said, we want the juices flowing, we want things flowing with this and make sure it's all set and ready to go. So for now, what do you think the plan is, Kyle? So not only does Kyle work on the cars, Kyle is also the tuner.
Yeah.
So Kyle will be tuning our car while we're here at MAP. Dude, the clutch feels really nice.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels like it's really easy. It just it doesn't it grabs. You know it's like a good clutch, but it also doesn't drive terribly.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a little bit of throwout bearing whine, so we gotta figure that out. But okay, give him the plan.
So we are gonna just cruise her around for a little bit, putt around, make sure we get that new braking oil kind of flowing around.
Yeah.
Just get a feel for the car, see how everything is doing.
Throwout bearing, yeah.
It'll go away. My face looks extra orange. I don't like that. So we're just gonna drive this around.
Hey, easy.
We're gonna just drive around, make sure everything's good, make sure we can get some fluids floating around the engine. Go right. Floating around the engine just so that we know if there's any leaks, if there's anything goofy. That way we can double check it. So we're gonna take a short drive now and make sure everything's kosher, bring it back to the shop, look at it, and then if everything's good, we'll probably go fucking drive around and maybe send her a little bit. Right now this is still on the tune that the car shipped with. Right now this is fine for just driving it around. The car was on speed density before, so that helps with, we changed the intake, we changed the intercooler setup. So that being said, it being on speed density, it is still driving fine. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend beating on it, but we can still putt it around town and just make sure everything operates. So after we get back, just keep going straight.
Oh God, dude, we got some sauce on this thing.
After we get back, I will start building the map for this car. Subaru and Cobb specifically isn't exactly my forte, I guess I would say. I primarily tune a lot of Hondas and cars on standalones, but yeah, take it right. But I have a little bit of experience with these at the shop, so I told Dustin we'd give her what we got. We give her the sauce. Beans. So we're gonna cruise around a little bit, and then we will update you guys when we're back at the shop.
Yeah, it sounds unique.
Yeah, it does. I'm telling you, it has a different tone.
Yeah. I wonder if any of you Subaru guys watching this can hear it. We'll give them a little sauce when we get back.
Yeah. All right.
It feels good, dude.
Yeah. Scroll up to the
So as I drive, Kyle's gonna be monitoring our access port right here, which gives us a lot of the parameters that he needs to know anyways.
So normally with this kind of thing, I would take a data log and I'd be able to review it on my computer. But for this drive, I just kind of want to keep an eye on everything and make sure everything looks normal, which so far everything does. So that's super rad.
good, right?
Yeah, it sounds really good.
It's definitely got a much different tone than previously. We've got some action going on here.
You sure do.
The car is back at MAP. Kyle is working some magic here. Still doing like some...
Just plugged in some stuff and seeing what sticks. But the car's running pretty decent, so.
Yeah, so we still have a lot of braking in to do, but he's doing some parameter stuff to make us be able to actually drive this thing and do the brake-in. The car sounds like, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but maybe it's because I've owned this car for so long. It sounds different, and maybe because of the cams or something else, but it has a unique just rumble to it. It sounds freaking sick. I'm so pumped to put this thing on the dyno and actually do some real passes, but Kyle's gonna continue doing his wizardry work, and we're gonna go back out. We're gonna go back out and do some driving. Just when we thought we were in the clear, always expect the unexpected. You guys probably thought this video was about to end. Just kidding. You know why? The air suspension decided to take a big fat poop. We have no idea what's going on. The management just decided to air out and completely shut off. We tried to drain the air suspension because, as you guys know, the AccuAir suspension that I do have is an all-in-one piece, so the compressor is on the inside and it creates like condensed air. So we released that. We tried to reset the management and we unplugged everything, checked the fuses. Nothing's working. I'm thinking that the pump went out in the actual air tank. And you know, there's nothing that we can really do about that right now. Yeah. But it could have been worse. We could have been on the dyno and this thing just decided to air down and not ever work. So thank God it happened while they were working on the tunes. So guess what we're gonna do to end our night? Suspension. Also, thank God MAP had these in stock. They had a set of Evolved Autosports coilovers. So this might be the end of the Stancy Boy era on the WRX.
You can still slam her a little bit.
We gotta be careful. But yeah, we have to now do a coilover install because this thing decided to, we should show them really fast what it's doing. There we go, it's giving us an error code. It blinks twice and then turns red, which is saying that it's not reading the pressure that it should. That's what the error code here means, which obviously, but it's not turning on, it's not doing anything, it's just
not diddly squat.
Just dead. So to fix that, we're just gonna full send a set of coilovers and it is what it is. So that's how we're gonna end our night tonight. But first, ramen trip. Cue ramen.
I don't know what that means.
You know what this means?
What?
9 ramen. I wonder if that's really what it means. Ramen date. Also, Kyle's fam is here.
Not currently.
Not currently. No, not imaginary. This little guy. The spitting image.
I don't know.
Kampai.
What's this gonna taste like? Spitting image. Even while eating.
I just can't escape it. We got chicken katsu ramen. I've actually never seen ramen. I mean, curry ramen. Chicken katsu curry ramen. That's crazy. Taste test of curry ramen here. Pretty close. Before we head back to the shop, we found a little viewer of the channel. What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy actually just got back from Japan almost the same time as me. What'd you drive out here?
I have a 2015 Subaru WRX.
I like the Sparko wheels.
Thank you.
Very cool,
It has
man.
some work to be done, but...
A lot of WRXs this week.
There is.
3, all
we
in
should
one.
throw some MAP parts on this thing,
Yeah,
dude.
use an exhaust.
Thank you for watching, bro.
Yeah, not a problem, man. I appreciate your time.
Dude, look at this road name.
Can't see it.
Only in Minnesota. Yankee Doodle Road. Yankee Doodle Road. Made it back. Time to get the bags out. Coilovers in. Old, new. Ooh. suspension install complete. Now, the car has a ton of front rake. We're not going to worry too much about the height of the suspension, because that's all going to change once this car gets home. Plus, we have to put it on the dyno and transport it. So the rear's a little bit too low and the front's a little bit too high, but it is what it is at this point. We're gonna test the suspension out and also do a little bit of more break-in like we were supposed to do earlier, but couldn't. Hopefully we don't have any rubbing issues back here. I'm just a little bit worried about the rear of the car, but hey, it looks good. It looks good. Honestly, if we could get the front or the rear a little bit higher, I think it would be fine with leaving it the front as is. Spicy.
Yeah, that's 10 pounds.
Once this thing's on the dyno with the proper tune, I feel like it's gonna rip.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty hard. So the idea here is to rev the car out to 5,000 RPM and then let it drop to kind of seed the rings.
Yeah, so just kind of build some pressure on the top and the bottom of the rings. That way they expand and then seat against the cylinder wall how they're supposed to.
Definitely our longest day yet. Our longest couple of days. So, like we told you guys at the beginning of this build, doing builds like this definitely don't always go as planned, but the hard work always makes it worth it. Hanging out in the garage with Kyle tonight and going to get ramen and just having those late nights and the struggles kind of brings me back to the old days when we first started doing this. And I don't know, it just feels so good to be back working on the WRX. And like I said, all the hard work really pays off. I mean, there's still a lot of adjusting to do and a lot more work to do, but the bulk of it is done, and hopefully the hard work pays off tomorrow on the dyno for you guys, and hopefully actually the fuel stuff comes in, because I'm just now remembering we still have to install injectors and a high pressure fuel pump if they show up. Anyways, it was a super long day, long 2 days actually, because I just realized that this video is split into two. I apologize if it's a little bit all over the place, but we've been working our butts off. Kyle's been absolutely killing it, and I'm so excited to show you guys the final product. I mean, the car's already running great, and once we have everything dialed in, running some high boost, the car should be pretty rowdy. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much, and I really hope you guys have been enjoying the WRX series, and we got a couple more episodes left to go, so stay tuned. Again, thank you guys so much. Thank you to Kyle. Thank you to Maperformance. None of this would be possible without all of you guys. So again, stay tuned. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure to comment down below. Let us know if you're enjoying the series. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.